shopping assistant, if you like, virtual shopping assistant, was born. It's effectively, as I say, it sits on your site, and it's there to aid the customer along that sales journey on site, ultimately preventing them from bouncing and going off and shopping with a competitor, and also then to, again, assist customers during that journey if they've got any questions. We know, again, through our research, that customers don't want to sift through pages and pages of FAQs. They want a quick, fluid user experiences, and as retailers, that's what obviously you should be looking to provide customers. And we're not just talking here about helping to improve conversion. We're talking about obviously after sale as well, and customer services. So we're effectively saying, don't just see this channel as a customer services channel. You should be seeing it as an extension, really, of your sales and marketing teams as well. And that's essentially what we've looked to create here at Envolve. And yeah, essentially what our AI chat solution does is it is there to distinguish between, what is a customer service question and what is a sales opportunity, or is someone showing showing some form of buying signal, and then answer accordingly. I guess during our research phase, again, of the project, we found a lot of providers out there, some big names, just take Estee Lauder, for example, who are running live chat on site. So they've got a dedicated team the other end, and we tested that and asked a few questions. One question being, how much do your does your foundation start from? And the customer service agent came back and said, our foundation starts at £20. End of conversation. Yes, they've answered the question, but that was a customer there effectively showing a buying signal. And that's what we're talking about, those missed sales opportunities. What our technology does is look to capitalize on that opportunity and aid that conversion. So let me just give you guys a bit of a demo and an overview as to how that looks and how it works. You can see on site at the moment, I'm sharing my screen. Hopefully you can all see it. Little Mistress, who is one of the fashion retailers that we've been live with now for a number of months. They're a fast fashion growing team. They don't have a big CS team, so they can't man a live chat channel. And of course, they're getting a lot of email inbound queries as well. So they wanted our solution really to help manage that and alleviate CS strains, but then also to help them to improve their conversion on site as a business. And that's what we've been doing since going live. Now, you can see the widget in the bottom right-hand corner here. It's not a pop-up, so it's not going to invade the user journey at any point here. It's a go-to should the customer need any assistance during that sales experience on site, or that shopping experience on site, should I say. If they don't want to see this little trigger message, which again is just to tell the customer the technology is there to help, they can get rid of that, and they're left with the widget, bottom right-hand corner, neatly there, again, to go to if they need any help. They click on the widget, they'll be greeted with a welcome message and what we call our utterance menu. And this really here is to manage the customer's expectation off the bat. So they know the types of questions that the customer or that the technology is able to help them with. The virtual shopping side of things is there to help them with. And then what we do is we train the AI to start with tends to be your FAQ style questions, and that forms the foundation knowledge base of the AI, and that's ultimately then what we go live with. A lot of there's two ends of the spectrum when it comes to AI. There is off the shelf AI, likes of chatbots, so ManyChat, Freshworks, Drip, for example. And then there's enterprise level AI, which is of course going to a dev agency and getting charged, £10,000 to £20,000 to build a piece of sophisticated AI technology. The problem with that off the shelf AI technology is it is very wooden, and we will have all experienced it at some point on various sites that are running that form of technology. And it requires you as the advertiser to physically build what those user flows look like. So you've probably seen some before. I think Sky have one. You'll go onto it. You'll click a button. So what's your question around? Oh, it's around bundles. Click on bundles. Okay, what bundle are we talking about? Family bundle, sports bundle, sports bundle. Click on another button. And then before you know it, 9 times out of 10, you've hit a dead end and you've left the experience, and you might have bounced and gone and purchased a Virgin Media. That isn't real AI, but that's why those providers sit at that bottom end of the spectrum and are able to deliver that technology based on, a standard cheap subscription, whatever. But again, it becomes an overhead for you guys as business. And ultimately AI is meant to alleviate strains, not create them. And our technology sits much more towards that top end of the spectrum, if you like, in terms of sophisticated AI. And as I say, what we start off by doing is building that foundation knowledge base and training the AI to be able to answer those FAQ style questions. Because again, we know customers don't want to trawl for FAQ pages to find the answers. They want a quick, fluid user experience. So I've got an example here of a standard CS question, I guess. What is plus? So again, this might be a barrier for me. If I can't find the answer to this question, I might not purchase. I want to order something, and I've seen Collect Plus, but I don't know what it is. Ask the question, and we come back with the trained answer in the brand tone of voice, saying whatever you, the brand, wants to say regarding questions around Collect Plus. And in this instance here, if they want any more information, they can click on the button here, which will take them or deep link them to the deliveries and shipping page for Little Mistress. So that very much makes up your standard bread and butter CS style questions. And that's ultimately what we'll go live with in the first instance. So, once we've gone live originally. But then what we'll start to see once we're live is sort of those sales opportunities that I touched upon earlier. And that goes into retraining and adding to that knowledge base once we move through the live process, once we've been on site and we've got some people and customers asking questions. So an example here of a sort of someone here showing showing a buying signal. So I'm looking for something to wear to a wedding, and we come back with an answer in the brand tone of voice, saying whatever, again, what the brand wants to say. And then we're going to give a customer two options. We can either deep link them to the relevant section of the website. So someone here talking about wedding. Okay, let's get them to shop and explore the full wedding range at Little Mistress. So they can explore this here, choose the relevant section depending on what they're after. But also what we're doing, and what's extremely unique to our technology and where it's really resonating with brands that we're working with is the product recommendations. So these are pulled in from your product feed. And if you don't have a product feed, we can help you construct one. And these are obviously relevant to the query. So someone here talking about going to a wedding, and this is where the option to, again, aid conversion and boost average order value comes into play, because we've got saying, okay, hang on, look at this fascinator. I wasn't actually thinking about buying a fascinator, but I like the look of that. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to be deep linked to the basket page, and then I'm going to add to the bag. So it's all about, again, keeping those touch points in place, becoming a bit of giving a virtual assistance there for customers, and aiding them in that sales journey on the site, I guess. So that very much gives you, I guess, an indication of how we would answer. Now, one of the main questions you probably all got is, what happens if someone asks a question that the AI isn't trained on? And truth be told, of course, when we go live, it's not going to be able to answer everything, but it will, before we go live, we aim for a 90% accuracy of what it's been trained on. So we'll be able to share a list of all the FAQs or the question and answer pairs you've given us as a business. And what we're saying to you before we go live is, right, the technology will answer that with a 90% level of accuracy. But if someone comes in and asks about something to wear to a wedding and we haven't trained on that, what it will do is the next best thing, which is try and find a relevant product recommendation, but it won't necessarily be able to answer. And if it can't answer, there's two options. If you're a brand out there and you're already running live chat on site, that's brilliant. What we can do in that scenario is effectively plug in your live chat provider to our widget. And then what happens is, if a customer asks a question that the technology is not trained on, we give the customer an option to hand over to a live agent. And again, what we're doing there is acting as a buffer between the customer and your sales team. Your sales team don't want to be answering little easy questions or top line questions that we can handle. They want to be answering the intricate questions. And again, remember, our technology runs 24/7. So there's always going to be that window, if you are running live chat, between the hours of, 9 to 5 past those hours when no one's there. So what we're saying again is, sales are going to be slipping through the net there. So plug in our technology and we'll help you make sure you're not missing those sales. So yeah, if you're running live chat, an example here, OSSA, they were running live chat. If I asked a question that the technology is not yet trained on, I've got an option to then hand over to a member of the OSSA team. And what I can do is just have a live conversation through their live chat provider, live chat. And as they usually would, they'll answer the question their CS team will if we couldn't answer it with the technology. And then once their CS agent has finished the conversation and ended the conversation within the live chat interface, we just hand back to the AI, and the AI will continue to have the conversation and support the customer with any questions and answers they need assistance with. So that covers, I guess, live chat. Now, for providers or for advertisers, who aren't running live chat, and live chat, I'm not saying it's the go-to answer. Some teams like Little Mistress don't have a team of people who can be on hand to answer, queries, 9 to 5. And what we'd argue as a business is, live chats are great. People think, oh, let's just add a live chat channel, that'll solve our problems. Well, that's not the case, because opening a live chat channel can also open a can of worms, and that you're always expected then as a brand to be required to be there to answer customers all the time, and you might not have the resource to do that. So if you're thinking about running live chat, again, we can either plug into your live chat provider that you're running with, or you can test our technology, see how you go, and you've got that future-proof option to hand over via live chat. If you're not running live chat, then what we have built in is our email handover form. That is triggered when someone's asked a question again that the technology is not yet trained on. The user then can click send an email. That will trigger the email catch-all form. Customer will fill this out and send this over to Little Mistress customer service. Now, that will then be handled by the Little Mistress customer service team, as they usually would, and they'll respond via email, get back to the customer. But our side, our team, see the questions that are handed over and therefore not answered. And in effect, that's what starts to form the retraining element I touched upon earlier, and improving and growing that knowledge base on your business. So, in month one, the technology is going to be assisting and converting at a much lower rate than it is after 6 months, when it's gone through, shall we say, 6 rounds of retraining, basically. So that's how that works. And that also provides you with qualification metric and a value, in that we can say, right, this month Envolve's widget has answered 1,000 questions correctly, and it's handed over 50 via email. Of those 50, those questions can be broken down into 20 different types of questions. Some of them might be complex questions that the AI will never be able to handle, but 20 of them might be questions that just weren't in that knowledge base. We'll then go and get the answers from you, the brand, and then that will be retrained by our team, added to your knowledge base. So moving forward, those questions will then be taken care of and answered. So that forms, I guess, as I say, that retraining layer. And you've got this buffer, whether you've got live chat or you haven't, you've got a buffer to catch those questions that aren't being answered, really. And I guess that really leads on to the layer of insights and things you can, what you can take from the technology. So not only are we saying it's going to help you improve your site conversion, boost your average order value, but it's how the brands we're working with are taking the learnings that we're sharing with them. So what our customers are asking to actually better optimize their websites and better optimize their marketing spend. So, people might be coming through saying, oh God, how much is free delivery? Well, actually on site, we've already got it flagged here. It's free delivery on orders over £50. Maybe as a business, we want to, make it clearer that we offer free delivery on the website, because a lot of people are asking it. Or, of course, we would, of course, add that to the knowledge base for it to be able to answer as well. But the point being, it's those insights about what are customers asking, which you can then share and use with your sales and marketing teams to then, as I say, continue to improve your marketing strategy as a business outside of, what we're looking at here. So again, seeing this as a tool and an overhead, not just for CS, but an assistance for your sales and marketing teams as well. So I guess that covers the insights that comes from our technology, out of our technology, at the back of people using it, businesses using it. I should probably touch upon the commercial model. Again, something that's extremely unique to our technology, and what's something that's really resonating with the brands that we're working with. We run a performance model. That's why we're talking with you guys through Affiliate Future. There is no upfront cost to our technology. There's no monthly subscription, and there's no contract. It's strictly performance-based, running on your standard CPA commercials that you pay other publishers that are set up in Affiliate Future. And we only warrant or only drop a cookie when a customer clicks on a button or a product recommendation within our widget. Only at those points. We're not dropping a cookie every time the customer clicks on the widget, nor are we dropping a cookie every time the customer asks a question. And we certainly don't drop a cookie when the customer is handed over, because we haven't assisted that customer during their shopping experience on site. So that's important for us to make clear. So on that as well, we run a soft cookie policy. And what that means is if traffic is coming to Little Mistress, for example, or your site from another publisher, so let's take VoucherCloud, for example. If the traffic's been driven to your site by VoucherCloud, but a customer goes on to use our widget, clicks on one of our buttons or our product recommendations, we won't drop a cookie to receive a commission. The soft cookie policy is in play, meaning the commission will be paid to VoucherCloud. If the customer then goes on to convert, we wouldn't receive it in that instance. So that covers, I guess, the CPA commercial model. And what that means for you guys as advertisers, and where it's really resonating with brands, is it allows you to get a sophisticated piece of AI technology with no upfront cost and with no big financial commitment. And in, you know, the times we currently find ourselves in, that's extremely valuable. We're effectively able to give a sophisticated piece of AI to you without that upfront cost. And a lot of risk sits with us because we have to physically build this and train this and as a product for you as a business, of which point we might go live in a month and you might say, right, we want to take it down, Dan, we don't want to run it anymore. And we've spent all that time and money building that for you. But touch wood, that's a risk that in most cases is paying off. And what we'd say to that is, you know, let us prove to you that the technology can work. Let the technology do the talking. It's in our best interest for this to work well for you, because if it doesn't, then we obviously don't have the option to earn a commission in what we've helped assist on site. So I guess that covers the commercials, and I think we'll have some questions at the end for other aspects of it. But I think the only other thing for me to cover, guys, before we go on to questions, is how you get set up. What's the integration like? Is there any cost? So again, something that's really sort of resonating. Our technology is extremely light and easy to set up. AI, straight away you say it to brands, they think, right, one, it's going to cost me a fortune. Two, it's going to be a massive nightmare to set up, take us months. And three, it's going to be a massive overhead once live. Our technology obviously sidetracks all of that. If an advertiser or a brand wants to go live, we just need a yes from you. We will then join your affiliate program via Affiliate Future. We'll then take all of your FAQ information that can be found on the website and any additional FAQs you might have. That will go into forming your foundation knowledge base. And then we'll take your feed from AF, or if you've got a Google Shopping feed or a CSV export or a dynamic feed, or even if you haven't got a feed, we can help you construct something. So, you know, there's service providers out there that we're working with, not just retail. So there's ways we can work with you as well to ultimately lead customers to, you know, taking out an insurance policy or getting a quote. Whatever market you're in, whatever e-commerce site you're running, our technology can help you, you know, convert customers basically. And yeah, once we've got all that information, it's over to our team here at Envolve. They will build everything, train everything, get everything ready. You won't necessarily hear from us, and we won't bother you for 2 to 3 weeks, depending on our build schedule, at which point then we will have the script ready for the widget to then send over to Affiliate Future. And if you're integrated with their brilliant container tag already, then it means we can give them the script on your behalf and they can drop it on site for you seamlessly. If you're not integrated with the Affiliate Future container tag yet, then make sure you get it dropped on site because it's extremely helpful. But we can also drop direct on site using Google Tag Manager or attaching via HTML. If your site's running on Shopify, we've got integration guides for Shopify. So there's a multitude of ways you can drop on. And I guess what I want to try and emphasize there is our technology is very straightforward for you to get set up. It's not going to take up loads of your time. And once we go live, the only in-life management really that's required from your side, from the brand side, is we will share with you, or the team will share with you, the questions that weren't answered on a monthly basis, or at the end of each month say, you know, these are the questions that were asked, guys, that we couldn't find the answers for on your website when we went back to retrain. Could you let us know what you'd like the answers to be? And we'll go and re-add that and retrain and add that to your knowledge base so it's in there for next time safely. And again, you know, the technology is there. It's running 24/7. It's there to just sit in the background and support you as a business, continue to boost your site conversion, AOV, and also provide you with valuable insights to, you know, again, better optimize your website and, of course, your marketing spend. So I think that covers everything. And if I'm going to touch upon the current situation before we go to questions, you know, around COVID and things like that, at the moment, we're really helping a lot of our clients that we're live with, you know, they're getting questions about delivery. So will my delivery be affected? You know, if we're talking about travel brands, we could, you know, we can preempt a lot of those questions and take that pressure away from CS teams whilst also keeping people informed. And, you know, I think now's a time, if any, and we're starting to see it, I definitely see it our side in terms of, you know, brands are aware of that. And it's about keeping innovative and keeping ahead of the game and thinking ahead of either, you know, boosting conversion. We're in the current situation now, but also when we come out the back of this, depending on what vertical, you know, the business you work with, you know, falls into, if you like. So yeah, I think that's probably enough from me. I think I've covered everything. And I guess if you're happy to, we'll open up to any questions. That goes for anyone. I think maybe if someone wants to go ahead, and then we can mute if someone else is talking, if that works, I guess.
Hi, Daniel. I've got a question for you, sir.
Thank you, mate.
Is there any additional considerations as regards to language? So, for example, if I'm an advertiser that has international purchases, etc.
Yes. Yeah. So on that, Kenny, at the moment we're only on working in English language or English speaking territories, but it is on our roadmap, rightly so, to be able to, you know, power all languages, because there's a massive, obviously, market out there. And on that, what we'd say is if you've got an English arm or an English domain, we'll drop on the English speaking domain first, and that will allow us again to really grow that knowledge base in life. And then when we're able to then translate for the other territories, we'll then be able to take all that knowledge base you've grown on, for example, Little Mistress or whatever, whoever you are as a brand, and dump that into, not as simple as a translation tool, but if you catch my drift, we'll have that knowledge to then put straight into your other territories. And that's very much in our product roadmap, sort of coming in the future, I guess.
Okay, thank you. Also, one more from me, sir. Is it possible for the chat box to be triggered if the user or potential customer lands on particular pages within the website?
Good question, Kenny. So again, that is very much in our product development, and I think you can imagine it sounds like a bit of a broken record, but with our technology in being in AI, it's so fast moving. And as I say, there's no one out there doing what we're doing currently in the AI space. So it's extremely exciting to be in that position, I guess. And for us, what you're touching upon there, and what we're calling dynamic trigger message is something that we're looking at. So I showed you guys earlier before we started the little trigger message that is pops up. It's normally here, but it's gone now because we have a default on it, so it's not there anymore. But what we'd do is, as you said, Kenny, if I'm on wedding, we'd have a dynamic trigger which said, okay, well, you know, let's help you find the right wedding outfit, or whatever you wanted to say. So again, that's very much in the roadmap. And I think what we'd say is, you know, we're only really scratching the surface currently as a business in what we're doing, but we're actively currently helping advertisers on average convert an extra 2 to 5% of site visitors into actual sales on the site. But yeah, that's definitely something it's coming soon again as well, Kenny. Thanks for that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Did anyone else have any other questions? Don't be shy. No? Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
I think, all right, that's all right, Chloe. I guess we've covered it then. So what I'd say is probably, I mean, I know the guys at AF will follow up, but and we'll go from there. But if anyone wants a specific demo for their, you know, for your brand, or if you're an agency representing your brand, just reach out to us through AF, and we can mock up a demo of how that would look and feel on the advertiser's website, and go from there, and hopefully start some conversations. That'd be great.